To set up your VPS, we're going to be using Hostinger, because with Hostinger, you can deploy OpenClaw very simply with just one click. It's also quite affordable to get started. Now, to get the best deal on your Hostinger VPS, make sure to sign up using our exclusive partner link in the description below to get an extra 10% off any Hostinger plan. Once you click on that link, you'll land on this page right here. You'll see the use cases and key features of OpenClaw. And in the top right, you can select a VPS plan. By default, this is set to a KVM2 plan. And that's what I recommend for OpenClaw. It gives you the resources you need to run it smoothly, and you can always scale this up in the future if you need to. So I'm going to keep KVM2 selected, and once you've chosen a plan, click Deploy. Next, you'll choose your billing period. I'm going to pick the 12-month option for this tutorial, but if you want to save the most, the 24-month option is the best value. Further down on the page, you'll see that OpenClaw is set to auto-deploy, which is exactly what we want. This just means Hostinger will install it for you automatically. If you scroll down, you'll see the option for daily auto backup. I'm going to skip this for now to keep the price lower, but if this is something that you plan to rely on, daily backups can be worth it. It's basically a safety net in case something breaks and you need to roll back. Scroll down a bit further and you can choose your server location. In most cases, you'll just choose the location closest to you or closest to your audience. That usually gives you the best speed and the lowest latency. I'm going to leave the default location. If you've clicked the link in the description, you'll see the coupon code automatically applied. That will get you the additional 10% off. And once that looks good, click Continue. On this screen, you'll create your Hostinger account. Just enter your email address, create a password, and then click Register. Now you'll enter your billing details, click Continue, then enter your payment information, and once you're done, click Submit Payment to proceed. Here you can click Get Started, or it will happen automatically for you if the timer runs out. Once you've paid, you'll be brought to the OpenClaw configuration. And first, you'll see the OpenClaw gateway token here. First, make it visible, then copy it, and then save it somewhere safe. This token is basically the key that lets your VPS connect to your OpenClaw dashboard. So treat it like a password. Don't share it, and don't leave it sitting in a document that you'll forget about. I'll save mine off screen in my password manager, and we'll move on to the API keys. Next, we need an API key so that OpenClaw can actually talk to a model and respond. We'll start with the Anthropic API key. Hostinger will tell you where to get this, but I also have the link down in the description. So I'll open a new tab, I'll use that link, and you should see a page that looks like this. Once you've logged in, but before you create the API key, make sure your billing is enabled, or it won't work. To do so, first go to Limits on the left-hand side, then click Billing. Here, you can buy some credits. I'll add a few credits to get started. Then, you can go to the dashboard to create that API key, or if you see this pop up, you can click here to directly go to API keys under Manage, and API keys here in the submenu. In the top right, I'll click Create Key. I'll keep the default workspace selected, and then I'll name my key something like OpenClaw. Then I'll click Add. Just like the OpenClaw gateway token, you want to copy this API key and store it somewhere securely. Once you've copied it, we can go back to Hostinger and paste that in the Anthropic API key here. Now we're going to do the same thing for OpenAI. You don't have to set up both Anthropic and OpenAI, but I like having both options so that you can switch between them later depending on what you're doing. This will follow a very similar process for any services that you would like to add. Hostinger has been updating this page, so you may see more services than I see here at the time of my recording. Just make sure that you set up billing for those services correctly, and once you have your keys, you can add them here just like I've done with Claude. And one quick heads up on pricing. OpenClaw itself is free, but OpenAI and Anthropic are usage-based, so every message can cost money. So if you're new to this, start simple, keep an eye on your usage dashboards in Anthropic and OpenAI, and try not to spam a bunch of test messages while you're setting things up. A few dollars is fine to get started with testing, but you might consider adding enough credits on your favorite provider to enable a higher tier and a better experience. Finally, on this configuration screen, you'll see a WhatsApp number. I'm going to leave this blank because we're not using WhatsApp in this tutorial. If you do want to use it later, you can come back and add it, but for the simplest setup, we're going to use these API keys and then connect to Telegram. So once you've got your gateway token and your API keys ready, go ahead and click Deploy. You may see a quick survey. I'll scroll down and skip. At the top, you'll see that your project is being deployed. And this can take a few minutes, so just give it a moment. What you're looking for is for the status to switch to running. Once the status shows running, find the OpenClaw dashboard link and click it to open it in a new tab. Paste in the OpenClaw gateway token that you've saved and click Login. Once you're in the chat, type a simple message, something like, "Does everything seem to be set up correctly?" and then send it. If you get a response, that confirms 3 things. OpenClaw is running on your VPS, your gateway is connected, and your API keys are working. In my first message, I get some security recommendations and some next steps if I would like. You can review these, and you can have OpenClaw help you apply them if there are things that you would like to apply. If you don't get a response, double check that the gateway status is connected. On the left-hand side, click Overview, verify that your gateway token is actually entered, and check to make sure your status is connected. If you still have issues, make sure that your API keys were pasted correctly and that your billing is set up for those services.